right, Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. And so I'm just going to quickly ask you a question, just answer as honestly as possible. And if you could just give us a little bit of your personal experience or any suggestions that you have for us as to where you think that we should be working towards in order to see a future Earth 2100 that we all want to live in. So if you have any suggestions or...
Sure, thank you. So something I spoke about here, and I also really believe, is the power of communication and storytelling. And I think oftentimes young people forget that they already have a story that they can tell. And it's through the act of that storytelling that you can motivate people towards action. I talk about how the 3 steps to that are emotion to motivation to action. And I think that when people set up their story in that way, and it can be a story about your career or about an experience you had or about something from the environment that affected you, when you set up in that way, you can really drive the masses to take action towards sustainability. And it's through that honest communication that I think we're going to achieve our overall goals.
Right, that's a really great suggestion for all of our viewers out there. So now I wanted to just ask you if you can give me an example of an organization or a person that you aspire or look forward to give us some inspiration as youth here for something that we are already doing and working on, just to give us some hope that there is progress being made. And just also, if you could tell us with an example of how we can prove that that's already being progress that's being made.
Absolutely. So the focus of my work now is all about schools. Schools are an incredibly unifying factor because everybody goes there at one point in their life, but also actually here in America, 25% of the population goes to school every day, which means teachers, parents, facilities workers, custodial workers, administrators. 1 in 4 people in the United States go into a school building every day, which means if we focus on that, we can scale our impact really quickly. But on that note, in a State of Our Schools report that came out last year in 2013, it actually says that in order for American schools to get up to modernized standards, and that's not even green standards, that's just modernization, would actually take $542 billion, which is a huge amount.
Wow.
I don't know about you, but I don't have $542 billion. So I think, and those numbers are what is such a challenge amongst so many environmental issues. But I think the way that we overcome that is not to think about it as, we need to raise $542 billion, but rather we need to leverage the projects and the people that can make that change. And that's true for advocacy efforts, that's true for grassroots efforts, that's true for education efforts, just to spread awareness around it. Which is why the Center for Green Schools, which is the organization that I work for at the US Green Building Council, I think is doing a good job of this through our Green Apple Day of Service, which is an annual event where we encourage community members, teachers, students to host a sustainability service project at their school. I think that sort of thing can make an immediate impact and chip away at that $542 billion, but also chip away at all the other challenges that are in our way, such as the cultural challenges that the environmental movement faces, and just the physical challenges of making spaces more green and more sustainable. I personally got to work with an elementary school in Silver Spring where my sister teaches, and last year I put together a scavenger hunt where students could go through the school and learn about the green features of their building and really turn their actual school into a learning tool. And it was really rewarding for me, and not just to work with my sister,
Right.
but also to teach that all to students. And it's projects like that that happen on the Green Apple Day of Service, and we see thousands of those happen every year.
Right.
And for that, you can check out more information on mygreenapple.org.
Nice. I think that in and of itself, I think that is an example of our progress that we have a Green Apple Awareness Day. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was great to be here.
Yeah, thank you.